Well, good evening, everyone. Hello. My name is Faith Thomas, and I want to welcome you to the 2022 Love Yourself Challenge. Oh, yes, ladies, wherever you are, I want you to start giving some hand claps, some throwing up to say hey to the ladies that have joined us. We are going to have an absolute fabulous 28 days together. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And so after I welcome you all today and say thank you so much, I am going to be introducing the lady of the hour. She is the visionary for the Love Yourself Challenge. She has a heart for women and to see us have life and life more abundantly. And God has downloaded a plan in her heart that is phenomenal, and she is going to give us some amazing tips, some great information on what we can do in the next 28 days to really love ourselves and be fully a part of this challenge. So who I'm introducing is none other than Minister Alicia Clinton. Yes, Minister Alicia Clinton. She has many accomplishments, ladies. And so for those of you that may not be as familiar with her resume as I am, I want you to know that she is a veteran in the corporate arena. She has been in ministry for over 2 decades. She is the author of a best-selling book, Destined for Success. She is absolutely a woman who lives by what she shares with others. And so you all are welcome to a great treat on this evening, and I'm not going to delay her any further, and we're going to bring her on in just a moment. But what I want you to do is make sure you know where all of your controls are, right? So make sure that you're interactive this evening. We want to see you participating in the chat. We want to see you put comments. We want emojis. We want some whatever you can do to be interactive and add to this great kickoff event. We want you to feel comfortable to do that. So again, are you all ladies? Are you ready? Give me a thumbs up to say I'm ready for the Love Yourself 2022 Virtual Kickoff Challenge. And so without further ado, I bring to you Minister and our coach for this evening, Alicia T. Clinton.
Welcome, ladies, to the 2022 Love Yourself Challenge. Thank you, Faith, for that wonderful introduction, and I would be remiss if I didn't start off by saying thank you. I am so grateful for each of you for showing up, for each of you all for saying that I am going to make myself a priority. Thank you to our amazing team of volunteers that have worked hard behind the scenes to help put this together. Thank you to my wonderful husband, Pastor Michael Clinton, who really believes in me. He's often my biggest cheerleader and sometimes my biggest coach, but I really appreciate him for supporting my vision to see women live their best lives now. As Faith said, we love interaction. We love engagement. So let's blow the chat up as we share. If something resonates with you, whether it's me, whether it's one of the other ladies, whether it's our guest speaker tonight, put a yes, put an emoji. If something resonates with you and you want to tell the whole truth out loud, put, hey, that was me. Or even encourage each other in the chat tonight that, ladies, we're going to do this. Let's love ourselves because we all are beautiful inside and out. And I know for me, and I'm sure you all can relate, that we as women, we really struggle with the concept of what does this mean? Putting yourself first, love yourself first, putting ourselves, first. We as women care for others unselfishly. We feel like putting ourselves last is kind of innate. It's like that's what we're supposed to do. That's the norm. It's backwards if we don't do anything other than put ourselves last. But I want you to be assured tonight that there is a vast difference in selfishness, which is self-focus for self-gain and self-care. Taking care of yourself, loving yourself, actually helps to prepare us to be the best we can be for other people. Be assured, ladies, self-care, self-love is not vanity. It really is sanity. How many of you all get your teeth cleaned on a regular basis? You can do an emoji, a thumbs up or something. At least twice a year, you get your teeth cleaned. That's self-care, right? How many of you all bathe at least once a day? That's self-care, right? So why do we struggle with being intentional with self-love beyond the routines that have been acceptable by society? Tonight, we're going to kick this off, this celebration, with a reassurance that what we're doing really is okay. It really is in order. And it is a God idea. It is a God idea to love yourself. It is a God idea to put yourself first, because the greatest commandment says, and this is in Matthew 22, you should love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your mind. This is the greatest and first commandment. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. How am I going to love my neighbor as myself if I don't love myself? How am I going to love the Lord thy God with spirit, soul, and body if I don't love my spirit, soul, and body? So be assured that this is a God idea. God is love, and he wants us to love others, to love him the way we love ourselves. So as we kick off this commitment tonight, know that when we put ourselves first, we have a better self to serve to others. This became an epiphany for me. I flew on airplanes as a child, and then went through a long period where I didn't fly on any airplanes. So when I took my first corporate trip in my 20s, I was nervous. It was almost like my first time flying again. And while many people were reading the magazines or looking around, already had their headphones on, I was listening intently to everything that the flight attendant said. The flight attendant was giving me instructions, and I wanted to be prepared. I wanted to be safe. I wanted to be ready if anything went down on that airplane. I heard her say, make sure your seatbelt is on. Check. I got that. I heard her say, make sure you stay in your seat with your seatbelt on unless you go to the bathroom. That is all the things that she was saying that was normal. But when she got to the end of it, and said, in the event of an emergency, if there is decompression, that the oxygen mask would come down, and she went to try to show us what to do, that changed my life, and that's when loving yourself became a reality for me. It took me a long time after then, but if you've ever ridden on an airplane, you know what they tell you to do? They tell you to put your own oxygen mask on first. And then they say, and if you're traveling with a child, to put theirs on second. And I started thinking, and I want to ask you all this, ladies, how many of you all, by default, without even thinking about it, would put your oxygen mask first on your child if you were in an emergency? In the chat, that's me, you would do it. Most of us would. The majority of us would. But the reality is, and this is a stat that I learned, we need air to survive. And it's interesting because we can live, and this is a statistic that we want to share with you all. We can go 40 days without food. Now, I've never tried 40 days without food, so I don't know. But they say you can go 40 days without food. You can go so long, you can go about 3 days without water. But you can only live 8 minutes without oxygen. And the truth is, after about 3 or 4 minutes without oxygen, you will suffer permanent brain damage. Think about that, ladies. Even with our child, we said that we would put something like this, an oxygen mask, on the child first. But the reality is, if I put the oxygen mask on myself first, I'm better equipped to help save that child. And so this Love Yourself Challenge is us learning to put our own oxygen mask on first. Don't think of it as selfishness. Just remember, you can only live about 8 minutes without oxygen. And after about 3 or 4 minutes, you would experience permanent brain damage. So this challenge that we're doing together is a 10-10-10 commitment to yourself, to be intentional, to love your whole being, spirit, soul, and body. to love yourself, to care for yourself, to celebrate yourself. For some of us, this may come easier than others, but we're going to explore through this night. We have an hour packed with so much information, and I'm not going to belabor any longer. But if you are fully convinced that loving yourself, that you deserve it, put it in the chat that I'm going to love myself. Put it in the chat that you're going to be committed. And remember, this is your race, your pace. If you miss one of the times, don't quit, don't give up, keep going, but be intentional to love yourself. And I am so excited about what this means for me, what it means for you. Many of you all were here last year with me when we kicked this off, and we're going to do it again. I have some good news to share with you all that I'm actually publishing a book entitled The Love Yourself Guide, a 28-day journey to self-love. You all will be the first to have the option to purchase that book when it comes out, and we're going to do this together. So thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you all for showing up to say that you care. And again, remember, I'm fully convinced that this is the right thing for us to do in this season. And ladies, I want to share this, and this isn't in my script. Just today, since 5:30, I've gotten 2 calls. One where someone was crying uncontrollably and needed me to pray with her. Another one was a text from someone who has signed up, and we've had over 6 women to sign up to make this commitment thus far. And out of those 2 calls that I got, both of them needed me to be there for them. And that's what loving yourself is about, is us being our sister's keeper. And it blessed me that they could reach out to me to say, I need prayer right now. I need you to pray for me. My fiance lost his father today. And I thought, this is what loving yourself and self-care is all about. Us coming together as a group of ladies, supporting each other, encouraging each other. And so we're going to hear from one of my friends, one of my mentors, and I'm going to introduce her. And as I get ready to introduce her, I just want to share a bit about her bio and what this means to me to have her here with us tonight to help kick off this Love Yourself Challenge for 2022. Our guest speaker tonight is none other than Marsha Watson. I don't even need a paper to read from to introduce her. Our friendship, our sisterhood goes back well over 20 years, and she was just a caterpillar at the time, going through life's lows, and through destiny, our paths were connected and intertwined and crossed, and I've been her mentor over those years. And ladies, it is my honor, it is my pleasure, and I give God all the glory to have watched her to blossom from a caterpillar into a full butterfly. But just to do her justice, I'll read some of her bio. She means a lot to me. She's like a little sister. I've mentored her, and she just has been it's been such a delight to see God do the great work that he's done in her life. She was in her mid-20s, a single mother when I met her. We have shouted our way into the new year claiming we was going to get married, and God has done a great work in both of our lives. But this is Marsha Watson, our guest speaker tonight. She is a highly acclaimed beauty and makeup artist. She is the CEO and operator of EnvyMeGlamBar, a renowned, multi-talented makeup and brow artist, and a fashionista. For those that joined us before we started, you could see some of her thrift shopping and how she can take anything. I go into Goodwill and I don't see what she sees, but that's because she has a gift for doing it. She does beautiful full glam makeovers. If you aren't familiar with her, you can go to EnvyMeCustomWigs.com. She may give you another contact the way you can get in touch with her. She is the makeup artist, official certified makeup artist for Wake Forest women's basketball team. She's been in the beauty industry for over 20 years as an education manager at Sephora and worked for several major beauty lines. Her exceptional skill, experience, and passion have garnered high demand for her distinctive glam makeovers. She's done a makeover for me, and I was sitting there the whole time, and when I looked in the mirror, I couldn't believe that it was me, but it felt so natural. And it is my honor and pleasure to present to some, introduce to others, the one and only EnvyMeGlamBar CEO, Marsha Watson, talking about the beauty, the power of beauty inside and out. Let's show her some love.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Alicia. It is such an honor to be here and to be on this platform, to share this platform with such an amazing woman like yourself, Minister Alicia. I'm so grateful and so thankful. And like you stated before, it has been a transition for me to love myself and where I came from 20 years ago. I haven't always been there. As a matter of fact, in my 20s, I didn't even know anything about self-love. I didn't really recognize self-love until well into my adulthood. I went through a rough place in my life, which is how I discovered self-love. And to break it down, we all go through, we have different turns in our life. And a lot of times we don't discover who we are until we become an adult. And that's my situation. I didn't discover myself until I went through a rough place in my life. But I want to share a scripture with you all that really defined my self-love. And it's Psalms 139, 13 through 14. It's for you created my innermost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. So I've had to read that scripture over and over and over to really know what that meant. And what that means is before God even knew who I was, he had already determined what my life was going to be. I just needed to walk into it. I just needed to see my worth. I just needed to see who I was. And it took me going through so many different challenges in life, like a butterfly, like the caterpillar that turns into the butterfly. It goes through 4 stages of life. And I would say thank you for that, Alicia, for stating that butterfly, because I actually went to a meeting last night and with Swanetta Stone, and she talked about the birthing of a butterfly. It was so touching. But I would really consider myself to be a butterfly because in my 20s, I was so lost. I went through so much, and I went through a place in my life where I wanted to end my life, where I had given up. But I found Christ. I found a wonderful church. And I found people like Minister Durbin and Alicia Clinton and the G20 cell group. And it helped me get through the rough places that I was going through. And even afterwards, things still didn't, get easy for me. But through time, through trusting God and having faith and loving myself, I remember going to a psychiatrist for the first time in my life, in my 30s. And she told me, she said, the reason why you're not happy is because you don't love yourself. And I looked at her and I said, I don't love myself. Well, I love my children. I love my husband. I love my job. I love everything I do. What do you mean I don't love myself? She said, no, that's not loving you. She said, what do you do to love you? And I said, well, I do what I'm supposed to do. I take care of my home. I take care of my family. She said, no, you're still not answering the question. She said, what do you do to show that you love yourself? And I couldn't think of not one thing, not even getting my hair done, not even getting my nails done, not even getting a massage, not even buying myself a gift. She said, you have to figure out what makes you happy. You have to start doing things for yourself. You can't drown yourself into other people thinking that you're going to get the results that you need. She said, you cannot love anyone until you love yourself. And when she said that, I was just so blown away. Because how many of us have never even heard of self-love until we was in our 30s? We was well into our adulthood. A lot of us. I lost my mother when I was 15 years old. I never knew who my father was. So I went through a very, very difficult lifestyle, indulging in things that I didn't realize were not healthy. And so once I realized that the only thing that I had to do in order for me to be successful was love myself, it was mind-blowing. I became unstoppable. I became a person who can encourage other women. I became a person who can listen. I became a woman that could be a friend to someone. I became someone who could share my testimony and show you all the things that God can do through my story. But self-love is so important. And we have to understand that even in our darkest moment, even at that time in your life where you're feeling the worst, you have to know that God is in control. You have to know that God controls all, and loving yourself can help you get through your tough times. And I'm just so grateful for just being able to share my testimony and share the times where I was lost and I wanted to end my life and I didn't feel that I was worthy enough. But now I'm in a place where I can be grateful. I can be thankful. God has turned that thing around for me. And I'm so overly blessed. Like I see things that I would have never seen had I not given my life totally to God. So if you are someone who is struggling, don't stop. Don't quit. Don't give up. It's been times where I called Minister Alicia, and I told her, Alicia, I just can't do it. I can't do it. And Alicia came right there. She came, she showed up, and she prayed for me. And that's the type of friend, that's the type of woman she is. She will show you and she will help you and she will be there for you, and she is committed. And I'm telling you, I followed her. When she went back to school, I went back to school. When she got her degree, I got my degree. She has been a role model for me. She has been an inspiration for me, and I'm so grateful and thankful for her. And she's the reason that I'm able to love myself and share my testimony with other people, because she instilled in me, Marsha, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And she never judged me, never, even when I made mistakes, even when I didn't say the right things, even when I didn't do what I knew I should be doing. She never judged me. She just showed me love. And the love that she showed me, I can now show it to other women. I can now give them what she has given to me. And I'm so grateful. And I'm so blessed, and I'm so thankful that I didn't give up, that I didn't quit, because that was an option for me that I thought that I didn't have a way out, but I did. And so loving yourself, it equips you to love other people and be able to share love with other people. So I'm just grateful and thankful that I'm able to speak to you ladies and share my testimony with you all. Thank you for being the person, the woman that you are, Minister Clinton. I'm so grateful. And then you've come to me, you saved me, you've prayed for me, and it has just been a blessing in every way. I love you forever. You are always my sister. Thank you.
Oh, let's give a round of applause. Oh, I am so full and so appreciative and just so blessed. Marsha, thank you so much for sharing bits and pieces of your journey. Ladies, every one of us have a story to tell. And as Marsha shared, I've journeyed with her for 20 years and didn't give up on her, because it really is a pay it forward. My mentor, Minister Durbin, is on the call tonight, and I honor her. I don't know if my mom is here, but I honor all of my elders and mentors that have made a difference for me, and they carried me. And when I got strong enough, I was able to carry somebody else. and each one reach one. And that's what learning to love yourself is about. So often we serve people from a half empty cup or even an empty cup, right? But we want to be filled up to our cup runneth over, and then we serve others from our overflow. Marsha, that was absolutely amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She has tapped into the power of the beauty inside and out, and it really does start inside. One of my absolute favorite scriptures, and again, remember I said this is a God idea, is 3 John 2, and it says, beloved, which means you are adored, you are cherished. I wish above all things that you prosper. You, whenever the Bible refers to you, it's referring to your spirit man. Prosper, which means to flourish, to thrive, to succeed, and be in good health. Health is your body, even as your soul prospers. That confirms that there's 3 parts of us, and that God wants us to flourish and to prosper in all 3 of those areas. And as Marsha shared bits and pieces of her story, she had to come into the reality that until she truly loved herself, she really couldn't give anyone else her best self. The same journey that I had to take, and all of us have to take. And for some of us, you already may be convinced that you love yourself. It may not even be about, okay, I don't know if I'd love myself or not, but maybe you're just not intentional in your self-care. Maybe you do those things that I talked about, get your teeth clean, take a bath every day, the basics, but to make a 28-day commitment to yourself, first and foremost, that I am going to do this challenge for me. I'm going to take 30 minutes out of my day to take care of myself, mind, body, and spirit. 10 minutes in each category, you are worth it. And that's the power of the beauty inside and out. Now we're going to engage in a fun activity now. And with the fun, and everybody stay. I forgot to tell you all this. Marsha has her own cosmetic line. I don't know if any of you ladies have bought this, but it's a beautiful eyeshadow makeup palette. So we want to support our own. You can purchase this through her website. She has a studio over on Clemensville Road. Marsha, if you want to put in the chat your website or something so they can get it from there. But we are going to give away at the end here in about 30 minutes a drawing for an EnvyMeGlamBar gift certificate to the lady who has the most guests that have signed on tonight and that registered. As I said, we've had several dozens of ladies. I even have girlfriends in different states, in Georgia and Maryland, that are joining the challenge, but they have to be present tonight for you to win. So you can take that gift certificate and buy some of her cosmetic line, or you can go and schedule a time to have time with her for a glam makeover. The glam makeover I did with her was my first, definitely not my last. It is so worth it for the experience that you will have. But we're going to have a time for you all to engage and ask questions here in a little bit. You can ask Marsha some questions. You can ask me some questions. So stay with us. But before we get to the Q&A part, we're going to do a fun activity. And this is where everyone gets to participate. Let me see if I can share my screen. And so, ladies, we're going to just share, just to take a love yourself measurement on where you are right now. What one word best describes how you would describe yourself? You should see this screen on your phone or your laptop. What one word best describes how you would describe yourself? Giving, creative, tired, that's a good one. Gorgeous, loving, driven, loyal, gorgeous, love it. Keep them coming. You can focused, love that. Supportive, hilarious, triumphant. That's a good one. Devoted. I don't know if I called that one out. Energetic, Christ-driven, as you all put them in, like loyal is saying it's the biggest because that means more than one person has put that one in. The words get bigger as more people put them in. Attentive, thoughtful,
risk taker, honest, adventurous, passionate, open to others, compassionate, intelligent, I love that one, eager to learn, thankful, adventurous, faithful, that loyal and giving, still staying up there. Y'all notice those two kind of staying there in the middle. Oh, this is a good one. Someone was honest and put, they feel ugly. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for your honesty. And we always should be truthful to ourselves, but we want to help you know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are made in the image of God. When we describe ourselves as ugly, we're basically saying, God, you're ugly. We're made in his image. And whoever that is, I want to encourage you to start speaking words of affirmation over yourself. No one is ugly. No one is ugly. We all have our own forms of beauty. But thank you for your courage to be honest. That's what this Love Yourself Challenge is about, is learning to love yourself. Because if you think you're ugly, that's how you show up to the world. The power of beauty inside and out is, so a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And so we're going to support each other. Look at the words, lady, that are coming up. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. And what I'm hoping will happen is that by the time this 28-day challenge is over, that you're going to form some habits that will get us from tired, that will get us from ugly, that will get us from going, where we are so loyal. I love Black beauty, loyal and loving and giving to others, and that we have words that describe ourselves. This is good. So we're going to go on to the next one now. I think you all are enjoying that one. How do you feel about making a 28-day commitment to love yourself? Excited, ready, scared but excited, excited but nervous, unsure, excited. I'm excited. Lots of excited, humble, nervous but ready. You can do it. I can tell you all that the first time I made this commitment to myself, I felt these same things too. And I thought, if it is to be, it's up to me. I can't show up and present my best self to my husband, to my children, to my grandchildren, to my mentees, to my friends, to my family, unless I am the best me that I can be. And so whether you're excited, whether you're nervous, whether you are scared, go into this challenge with the commitment that you can do it, that you can do this. And we are our sister's keeper. The reason that we encourage you to get some friends to do this with you is because support systems mean the world. You heard Marsha talk about how, and she shared transparently, that she literally has contemplated taking her own life. But something in her said, I can reach out to Minister Alicia. I can reach out and tell her I need you. And something in me said, I care enough for my sister to drop what I'm doing and to support her. And so show up next week for the check-in. Show up every day for yourself. You deserve this. But you've got to be intentional. You have got to be intentional. I hope you ladies enjoyed this as much as I did. And thank you all so much. Just to keep going, I am now going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to turn it over to Miss Cindy Lilly, who is going to take it from here.
Guys, when you ladies wake up in the morning, we will be inside our 28-day challenge. 28 days committed to loving yourself and taking care of yourself. So I commend you all. I hope you all are excited as we just type, and let's do this together. We are making our 10-10-10 commitment, which is 10 minutes each day for your mind, your body, and your spirit. And we will be giving you some tips along the way, but you know what works for you. So do you. And ladies, we want you to Continue to invite your girlfriends, your nieces, your aunts, your sisters, your daughters. There's still time to join. But if you join this by yourself, guess what? You're not by yourself. You have a whole community of support. So let's uplift each other through these 28 days. This is your race, your pace. So go at your own flow. Like I said, we will give you some suggestions. You know what works for you. And if you mess up, if you falter, pick back up the next day, okay? Failing, dropping out is not an option. It's progression, not perfection. And from us, you're going to get support, not shame. Being self-full is not selfish. So fill your love tank so that we can properly love those in our circles. And forgive me if I'm a little off, I can't see the bullets as they're going. Next Monday, make sure you meet us back here at the same time. We want to see you logging on from that same couch you're sitting on right now. Log in next week, same time, the same Zoom link, because we want to see how you did for the first week. And we want to hear about it. We want to hear all the yays and the nays. So come back next Monday. Let's be honest and talk about how that first week went, because we need to hear from each other. And last but not least, I want you to type your name in the chat. Ladies, we got this. Go ahead and type in the chat. Sharon got this. Aquanet got this. Make this your declaration right now in the atmosphere that you got this. We are starting in the morning. I am so excited. Yes, Jaquana, I hope I said that right. Got this. Go ahead and type your name, because we got this and you got this and we got each other. So let's do this.
Hey, Queen. Hey, Queen. Hey, Queen Sister.
Girl, you've done it again.
You are constantly raising the bar for all of us and doing so flawlessly.
You do know that you're that girl, right?
I hope that when you wake up in the morning and look in the mirror, you see how divine you are.
Know that so many people want what you got. You have dreams to fulfill and promises to yourself that you must keep.
I know at times you feel underappreciated and misvalued. Trust me, we've all been there.
So it's necessary that you can count on yourself.
Now, don't go seeking perfection.
Extend yourself a little grace.
Don't be afraid to celebrate the little wins as much as the big ones.
You, Miss Thang, are courageous. You are dynamic. You are principled.
So baby girl, just remember, respect is a minimum.
There's a sweet justice in knowing that the path you are on was designed for you and your love.
Doing right by yourself never goes out of style.
Everything about you is majestic and a force to be reckoned with.
Trust me, people are paying attention.
You're special and worthy of praise. Don't shy away from it.
And you don't have to get your groove back, because guess what? You never lost it.
It's also important to rest. Make sure your hustle doesn't get in the way of your health. Girl, take care of yourself.
And the next time you want to second guess yourself, don't do it.
So pause for a second right now and relax, relate, release.
You are needed. You are appreciated.
Girl, you make me so proud. And I love you.
Remember,
you are 100%
that queen.
Oh, yes.